And we're back. Part 2 of the Gabby murder investigation. Here we go. He asked about hitting the curb.
Grab the wheel?
Yeah. She said, I can't believe we're getting pulled over, and then she grabbed the wheel.
So because he was getting pulled over, she grabbed the wheel. Either she's really unstable or this guy's full of shit. Now, I would think if a cop's following somebody, he can see. I can't tell if it's van, if he can see or not. But even looking in the mirror, you could tell if somebody grabbed the wheel. And if she's going to admit to hitting him, why wouldn't she admit to grabbing the wheel? So maybe he got pissed and hit or pushed her off. And when he did, that's why he swerved. And he's blaming her. Because that's what all the internet experts were telling me on my video. That I got this all wrong. And she's alive. And he didn't kill her. And it's all her fault.
What about the speed? Did she take over the...
No, I
over the pedal on you?
If I was going fast, I'm sorry. No, it's probably just the moment of like, I'm still shaking now. The adrenaline, seeing the lights.
I'm still shaking. So I'm still shaking seeing the lights. That doesn't make sense. Was he shaking before, or did he just start shaking when the lights came on? This guy's jockeying, you know, and I don't know if there's a term for it, but he's giving you this, what do we used to call it? The side street shuffle or some shit. There was a little term that we used to use when we thought we were getting jerked around and this dude's just doing a tap dance with his story. And that's what this guy's doing.
Lights flashing up and then her gripping the wheel. So if I sped up, I'm sorry about that.
And her grip, did he say she gripped the wheel or grabbed the wheel?
Shaking out, the adrenaline, seeing the lights flashing up and then her gripping the wheel. So if I sped up, I'm sorry about that.
So when somebody grabs the wheel, you speed up? Is that consistent? That's inconsistent.
Or if I was speeding beforehand, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it took quite a bit to catch up to you. So,
yeah. I'm sorry about that. We're just going into the...
This guy's apologetic a lot. I mean, he must be a nice guy because he says he's sorry a whole bunch. I'm sorry. He says he's sorry to authority figures with guns when he might go to jail. Oh, that's different. All you internet experts.
So the park again to get water because we have a 6-gallon water container to fill up, so we're just grabbing water for the hike. Okay. And I was trying to keep everything calm and quiet.
I was trying. Notice he's always the calm one in this. I mean, this guy's just a great guy. He's always trying to keep it calm. He's locking the door to help her. He's pushing her off to calm things down. It's not his fault, people. Rick, you got it all wrong. It was her. You freaking idiots. They're like, you need to go watch the video. You don't know what you're talking about. You read a CNN article and you think you know everything. I don't think I know everything. I simply comment on what I'm reading and I show what my investigative mind goes through and why I question things. And I question everything until I can prove something. I may have 10 questions and I want to prove one of those questions correct. So, you know, if that offends some of you two brain cells, crybabies that want to come here, you want to be cops, you want to be Navy SEALs, you know, internet SEALs on the internet or internet cops, whatever. Freaking crybabies.
Because they're planning still to go for a hike, but then she gets, I'm really sorry about that. Of course.
Really sorry. Man, this guy's really sorry. He's a nice guy. He apologizes a lot. I believe everything he says because he keeps apologizing to me.
Do me a favor. You want to go ahead and just take a seat right over here on the curb for me?
And if I was speeding, I'm sorry. I want to apologize.
You don't have anything in my pocket or anything like that, do you? Nope. Just the wallet? All right. And then...
Said he was sorry again. The cop does good here by saying, do you have anything on you? He asked him for his pockets. I mean, it probably would have been better. It was like, hey, guy, I'm gonna have you sit on the curb. Before you do that, I want to pat you down, make sure you got any weapons. And while I was saying, do you have anything in your pockets, I would have been up on him, moving his arms out of the way so he doesn't grab and show me. When cops say, what's that bulge in your pocket? You give a suspect a reason to go down and feel it because he doesn't know what bulge you're talking about. He's going to grab it, and if it's a gun, you're going to think it's normal because he's complying, but yet you're letting him get closer to guns. So it's never good, and it's not street savvy smart to allow suspects to grab things on their body and to tell you what they are, which is why the cop should have just said, hey, dude, I'm going to pat you down, turn around, keep your hands away from your pockets. I'm just going to pat you down real quick, make sure you got any weapons. Run the hand around the waist, the shirt fits tight, maybe go under the armpits, go down the waistband, go to the pockets. Pretty simple search. He's got flip-flops on. There's not a whole places he can hide. Really quick pat down. But at least the cop does do something.
Do you mind lifting your shirt so I can check your waistband? I got turn around.
Do you mind lifting your shirt? That's a good move. Since he didn't pat him down like he should have, at least he had him looked up to make sure he didn't have a pistol shoved in his waistband. That's what my stomach looks like when I pull my shirt up. Nice and flat. Oh, you guys keep telling me I got a fucking big gut. Shut up, you freaking...
Real quick? Perfect. Nothing. I just want to make sure. That's all, man. Go ahead, do me a favor. Take a seat, all right?
So here's Baldy back here fucking up the investigation, doing an interview, not taking notes. I don't know if he's got his cam on. If he does, at least it'll be recorded. But why is he back there talking? You're going to see in a minute, and I'll get to the part where I'm done. He turns to him and goes, you know what? Why don't you explain that to this officer since he's the one that's going to be doing a report or taking a paperwork, whatever. I hate cops to do that. I'd have went, if this was my case, I'd have went, no, I'm not taking a report. You already started the interview. Interview her and cut me a supplement with her statement. You want to come here and start questioning motherfuckers? Then you're going to cut paper. And that's what I've said that to cops before. This is very, very inappropriate behavior for cops to be call jumping or interfering with someone's call. You don't create another cop paper. You don't get involved in their investigation. You're there to give him assistance in case he gets overpowered or he misses something. You're there as a cover officer for officer safety. You are not there to run around and cherry pick what you want to do and what you don't and how you want to fuck up the investigation. I would have slammed this dude and said, no, you don't need to tell me again. You already told him. Explain it. I need a sup from you. You interviewed her. Give me a sup. And I'd have walked away. And he'd have cried and went to the sergeant. Hey, man, this ain't my call, and he's trying to make me take paper. And I told the sergeant, yeah, he went over there and interviewed her in my call. He stuck his nose in my call, and then he wanted her to repeat it. And I don't want to repeat it because I don't know everything she told him, and he shouldn't have fucking been asking her questions. So he's cutting paper because I need it for my report. And the sergeant went, you know what? He's right. Cut him a supplement. You shouldn't have fucking started questioning her if you didn't want to cut paper. And that would have been the last time that this bald-headed dude would have come up on my call and started sticking his nose in my business. Rick, you were an asshole. You're just a bootleg. Whatever. There's cop protocol, and good cops know it, and shitty cops don't. And unless somebody teaches them, they're not going to learn it.
Oh, do you have your ID on you?
In the car, if you want to...
So because the bald guy was sticking his nose in over there, he says, you know what, I might as well get this out. He should have got his ID earlier and ran him. When I'm talking to somebody, I want dispatch running him while he's doing this to find out if he's wanted before I turn my back on him and walk away. So a little out of step here, not a big deal.
No, we'll just do this. Just go ahead and take a seat.
He doesn't want him to get back in the car. I agree. That was a good call. He says he wants to get his wallet out. He goes, no, don't worry about it. Have a seat. I'll just do it by name and date of birth. Give it to me. It takes a little bit more work. He's got to write it down. But overall, I think that's a good call. You don't want to let a guy back in a car when you're not real sure what the hell's going on. You're not concerned. He's by the road. He could grab the keys. He could get in a fight. He could reach for a gun. No real good reason to let somebody go back to the car once you get him out.
You come with me, I'll give it to you.
No, you're fine. What's your first name?
Brian?
Brian? Is that layman spelling?
B-R-I-N, yeah, and L-A-U-N.
And then your last name?
L-A-U-N.
L-A-U-N.
D-R-I-E.
D-R-I-E?
Yep.
Laundry? Mm-hmm. Okay. What's your date of birth, Brian?
What's your date of building? He said date of birth. Freaking YouTube. Hey, gun people. Let's see what YouTube gives mine.
I'll say crisscross applesauce, but can I just sit in the shade because I'm bald?
Guys, I say crisscross applesauce. Can I sit in the shade? Because I'm bald. Okay, so his forehead is getting hot. I'd have probably said at this point, because this is a reasonable request. He's sitting out here in the sun. I don't want him sitting out here. I would have said, is there a hat in your car that the officer can go grab? And he'd have probably said, yeah. Because I remember when I trained the traffic stop, there's a big ass hat sitting on his freaking dashboard. So I would say, you know what? How about he goes to get your hat and we'll put that on. The officer walks over there, grabs the hat. He checks the interior of the hat for razor blades, handcuff keys, whatever. He kind of inspects the hat and he walks over and he gives the guy the hat. And now we've solved that problem. Instead, this cop says, I'll give you shade and stand over you. Again, this guy's not really a cop, but he's just there kind of to be a cop.
It's okay. I'll give you some shade. Sound good?
I'll give you some shade. So his body is supposed to be giving him shade. You can see a little bit. He said his head was bald, dude. You're not giving his head any shade. And you got your gun side to the suspect. Or is this his gun? I thought his gun was on this side earlier. Maybe this is his gun. Okay, good. I thought earlier I saw him he had a gun on the left side. Did I miss that? When he first walked up here? Am I freaking losing my mind? I thought for sure.
Right there.
Hang on.
I'm in the car.
Rick, what? Okay, I thought I saw a gun on his left side. Oh no, that doesn't look like his gun on the right side. Maybe it was a taser I saw on his left side. Shit. Right here. What's he got his hand on? Oh, that's what I saw. I knew I saw a damn gun on the left side. That looks like a taser. So his gun may be on this side. So in this video, when he was standing here, I noticed that he was doing a wrong stance. He's either got his gun side here to the suspect, or he's got his taser away on the other one. One way or the other. You don't put your gun to a suspect. If they want to reach, you want them to go through you and around you to get to your gun. You don't want to have them straight grab. All right, let's get to where we were out here. Where are we at, like 7 or 8 minutes or some shit?
Hang tight for me.
All right.
SO229.
So now we're going back while Billy Bad, Ballhead, is trying to make time with the girl in there crying.
I need a 29 name and date of birth.
29 means once or warrants in most places. In California, a 27 is a DL run, a 29 is for warrants. So if I ran somebody's DL, I'd say 27, 29, you know, California CDL number, blah, 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 and I'd give the number.
First name Brian, layman spellings, last name.
Layman? We used to say common spelling. Is layman a new way? We go Brian, common spelling, but whatever. All right.
Laundry, Lima, Alpha, Uniform, November, Delta, Romeo, India.
So they use the different, there's two types of phonetics. This is the one that we used in the military, and the feds use this one. The other one that normally cops, instead of Lima, Alpha, Uniform, November, Delta, Romeo, India, it would be Lincoln, Adam, Union, Nora, David, Robert, Ida, I think is what it is. So there's two different, what's called phonetic alphabets. And he's using the one that the feds use. So a lot of cops may, what's he talking about? The military and feds use this phonetic alphabet. They're covering up the date of birth. This guy is standing in front of this guy, trying to give him shade. I don't know which way it's done. At least his hands are in front of his guns to protect him. I'll give this guy that. He doesn't have his arms crossed to where his gun and taser is accessible. He's looking relaxed, but in actuality, he's guarding his gun here. Meanwhile, Baldy's in here making time with Blondie. Okay, so here's where, right around this area is where I hear this cop talk something about freaking, me and my wife used to argue, my ex-wife. He starts talking about his ex-wife. He's trying to bond with this woman that he's got an ex-wife who he's already dealt with to kind of tell her that I understand what you're going through. I had an ex-wife like you and blah, blah, blah. And I just couldn't believe it. If this was me, this officer who's videotaping, this guy right here, his videotape's on, I would be like, dude, can I continue on my investigation instead of listening to your ex-wife stories? I just can't believe the cop is sitting here in a possible domestic violence and he's interfering with this guy's investigation because this is this guy's call. He's doing all the paper. He's the one that's going to have to write and report everything. And this guy just gets to run around and play cool, and then he doesn't have to get any paper. He just goes 10-8. I hated guys like this.
Where'd you hit him? You socked him first? It's on his face? How many times did you sock?
Bravo, Romeo, India, Alpha, November.
And then what? His reaction was to do what?
I got headphones on because I can't hear this with a road noise, so I've got it turned up really loud. So therefore, if I had it loud on my speakers, it would give feedback. So if I'm talking loud or it seems like I'm screaming, my headphones are on, and I probably am. But I normally talk loud anyway. Turn your damn volume down. Come here and cry about I talk loud. You ain't got a volume control?
It's going to be out of Florida.
So if he's out of Florida, I don't know how he knows out of Florida. He said he would be out of Florida. How did he know that?
Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit him, but then I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you. Because, you know...
So we've got 3 officers sitting in the sun. We've got a suspect over here. We still don't know what's going on. Meanwhile, Billy Bad Baldy here is going to sit here and try to make time with her and delay everybody. And then he's not even going to cut paper on what he's doing. He's going to tell the other guy, hey, tell him what you told me. Dude, that is freaking so rude and inappropriate. Any cop out there that sees this and hears me saying this knows exactly what I'm talking about. If you're a cop and you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're not working in a very busy area and you don't have what's called beat integrity and call integrity and all that other shit to where when it's your call, it's your freaking call.
Where did he hit you? Don't worry. Be honest. He slapped your face or what? Yeah.
So all this information, if this guy didn't have a camera on, is being lost. And this guy who has his notepad out and would make notes, who has his cam on and would be recording it, he is probably missing some of this, and it's just piss poor procedure. If I was a sergeant and I reviewed this body cam, I would write this dude up and go, dude, I'm going to give you a freaking letter of counseling for freaking not following proper procedure on a traffic stop. You were there to cover this guy, not to interfere and take over the call. You're taking statements, you didn't cut paper, and you delayed this guy from doing a job, and it wasn't your call. So unless he asks you, now if this guy said, hey dude, would you mind go get a statement for her for me? Then that's one thing. And you know what cops will do? Hey man, this ain't my call. I don't want to go get a statement because then I'm going to cut paper. I'm just here for cover. That's the other side of the cops. Even if you ask a cop who's just there for cover and knows the rules, he'll be like, I don't want to talk to nobody, then I got to cut paper. I'm just here to cover you. So, people that's not in the job doesn't get that.
Go ahead. Okay. So has he been drinking?
No, we don't drink.
Okay. What was up with his driving? This officer said he hit a curb.
I
While you're driving?
well, he was there.
While he was driving, you were hitting him?
This guy's even interviewing shitty. Who's driving? What? Are you driving? Did you drive? Did you hit it? What? What? He's interrupting her. He's not listening. He's not letting her tell a story. I want to invoke a story. I want to open any questions. I want her to trip up if she's lying over her lies, if she's lying to me. This guy's like just in her face, and he just wants to be cool. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy is totally, he wants to look at her. Later, he'll be telling, oh, man, she was smoking. Yo, man, when I was talking to her, she was nipping out. Rick, you can't say that. I'm telling you. That's what this guy's going to be talking about when his call's over. I guarantee you.
Did you already tell him all this?
Did you already tell him all this? You know what? If you had stayed the fuck out of my call, it wouldn't matter whether she told me. But because you got your fucking nose in it, now you got to ask if she told me. You know what that means? That means I don't want to write paper on it. And if you didn't tell him, I want you to tell him because I don't want to have to cut paper on this.
I didn't get that far into
Okay,
it. She
so
was hyperventilating
She's
a little
saying
bit.
that they don't drink, but at the point when you lit them up,
They don't drink or anything.
She started hitting him.
I was yelling at him, and then when you turned your lights on, I kind of punched his arm like there's no
that she's saying was like hit the curb. You said it was Gabby?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I remember that name was Gabby.
Yeah.
See, so this guy says, hey, here's what she told me, blah, blah. So now we have hearsay, and there's a hearsay exception for officers. But still, we have a third party. Anytime you get a statement through a third party, you lose it, and it gives the defense a way to attack that. So if this was a critical incident, and this becomes critical for some reason, somehow, it's going to be like, what did she tell you? What did you tell him? What exactly did she say? Did you make a note of that? Did you document that? No, I didn't. I told the other officer. Did you tell him exactly what she said? Did you tell him it was quotes, or were you just paraphrasing? And that's what it's going to sound like on the stand, and the case gets ruined because Baldy wants to make time with Blondie.
Try to meditate stuff, which you tend to have a lot of.
So now he wants to try and give her relationship advice. Did you try to meditate stuff? You know, I have a lot of anxiety to deal with your anxiety. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. This dude turns into a freaking Dr. Phil with a beard right on fucking scene in the middle of my call when I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Dude, I would have fucking been in this dude's ass like fucking stink on shit.
Anxiety and stress.
I have a lot of anxiety.
And what's his name? Is it Brian? Is he usually pretty patient with
You don't even know who the players are. You want to ask her who the guy's name is. You're asking questions that I already know is the primary officer, and you're delaying and just fucking this case up because you want to be Dr. Phil.
Yeah, but it just makes me upset. I know that he definitely gets frustrated with me a lot.
So why is this tape edited? I don't like when PDs release shit and it's edited. Probably Baldy's trying to get her phone number.
way of taking my anxiety and bringing it down? But my ex-wife, that's why she's my ex-wife, I'm just sharing, I know it's a little personal, but to help you understand, we would feed off each other's anxiety.
Look at this shit. He's going into freaking his ex-wife anxiety. We would feed off of her, and this is why I got a divorce. I mean, are you freak? This is so inappropriate. Not only has an officer in the middle of a call and you're fucking up my investigation, it's inappropriate to be dealing with a woman who is emotionally distraught, and now you're trying to make time with her and bond and get some sort of relationship that you and her have the same problems and y'all are really connected. I mean, it's just freaking crazy. I just can't. I mean, if she'd have told him he doesn't have sex with me, this guy would have went in, you know, I had an ex-wife that wouldn't have sex with me either, and here's how I dealt. What the fuck, dude? Shut up, Baldy. I hope Baldy sees this and freaking comments. Come on over, Mr. I know what I'm doing, bearded Baldy.
Anxiety of the spiral, you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter how much I loved her. It may be bad for your soul, just saying.
Oh, it was bad for the soul. Oh, he's so caring, Rick. He's trying to help her, Rick. Why are you being so mean to him? Oh, whatever, people.
I'm not telling you what to do with your life, but if you know you have anxiety, look at the situations you can get in. You know what I mean? And we're not here to be mean to you or anything. Well, you know, there's a first time and then it usually, we'll go see what Brian's saying, but I think you've heard everything now from...
Oh, I think you've heard everything now. Now that I fucked up the case and told her my life story, you know what? I would probably put this shit in her... Well, it's in the report because it's on his videotape. This guy's going to look like an idiot. When this goes to trial, if it goes to trial, either civil or criminal, this cop is going to be on the stand. And I mean, I would freaking eat this dude up. Exactly what was the purpose of you? Well, it was to bond and let her understand that I understand where she comes from. And really? Do you have training in any psychological dealing with women with anxiety? Have you had any training in that? Well, I had 2 hours in the police academy on dealing with domestic violence. You freaking idiot. Shut up. When you're in a hole, stop digging. I'd eat this guy up on a freaking stand.
Question, you said you were hitting him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch the steering wheel?
So she admits to hitting him, but doesn't admit to grabbing the steering wheel. Why would she lie about that? I mean, she could be lying, but why would she lie about that? And even though she was hitting him, that still could have caused him to hit the curb. So it's not a real critical fact, but I'm looking for anything to figure out who I can believe more and what the players are here. Before Baldy gets over there and screws up the whole case. He's probably over there now kicking the dude. Hey, man, you better tell me what's true and beat him up. He'll come back. Hey, man, he's bleeding. You need to call an ambulance. How's he bleeding? He got up too fast, so I had to set him down and show him who's boss. I mean, that's what kind of guy this guy is.
But only for like a second, because I just saw the lights come on, and it was more just like, you're an idiot. Like, you know.
So she hit him and said, you're an idiot. I mean, I've been hit by a woman and told I was an idiot. I mean, big freaking deal. I mean, it's not like she was punching his face and beating the hell out of him, I don't think. But the way she's describing it, she's emotional. I mean, her arms don't look like she can throw that much of a punch. I mean, obviously she can scratch and kick, but...
But did you grab the steering wheel and like swerve or anything like that?
No. I didn't touch the steering wheel at all.
Okay.
I would have followed up. Then why do you think he told me that you grabbed the steering wheel? Why would he do that? Because if I can turn one of them against each other, they're more likely to be honest. They're more likely to, and I'm not trying to get them in a fight or make it worse, but I'm trying to get at the truth. So that's a legitimate question. If you didn't grab the steering wheel and you've already admitted that you hit me, why would he tell me that you did grab the steering wheel? Does he make things up? Does he... I mean, I think he could have probed that comment and got more information.
I'm going to go ahead and close this door again. Do you have enough air back here, or do you want me to kick it up some more?
Do you have any water?
I will see if I can find some.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
Okay, so she asked for water. She's licking her lips. She's stressed, fight or flight. She's emotional, anxiety, OCD, whatever. Getting her water is a good thing. You do that when cops are in shootings, whatever. So, and this cop does pretty good. He asked somebody for water. How did this guy get from the curb to over here? Didn't that guy set him here and say, stay here? You want to know how he got there? I guarantee you 100%. He asked Baldy, can I go over here? And Baldy was like, oh yeah, sure, come on over here. Because he's trying to bond. And so he's over here again, re-interviewing, getting maybe a different statement, a second statement from the suspect that I may or may not know what he said because he ain't taking notes. This guy is just screwing this case up.
You wouldn't happen to have any water, would you? You might get a bottle.
Did you already give a statement to this officer?
See your Baldy? As soon as the cop shows up to do that, puts his hands up, did you give a statement to this officer? Now, he's trying to get him to tell the officer more things that the officer may or may not know, but maybe he doesn't need to hear again. He has totally fucked this call up. And let me ask you guys this. Y'all aren't even cops. Whose call is this and who's in charge here? I bet you half of you are saying Baldy's in charge. He's probably senior. Some of you may say the Fed's in charge. I don't know. This guy's got his hands on his gun right here, or his taser. That's the way I stood a lot when I was a cop. I want to know where my gun's at. It stops anybody from getting it. I still look relaxed, but I can draw quicker, and I protect my gun. A lot of times my hand was... I got complaints because the whole time the officer talked to me, his hand was on the gun. I used to get complaints. I don't give a shit. That's where I rest my damn hand. Meanwhile, Baldy's got his hands up here, gun all exposed to this guy he knows nothing about. But he's probably, you know, the smart guy.
Gentleman here.
Yeah. This gentleman noticed that you had some marks on your neck. Yeah. And she's got some marks on her too. We're just trying to figure out what all happened. And I know you probably already...
We're just trying to figure out. You sound like this guy.
And she's got some marks on her too. We're just trying to figure out what all happened. And I know
Where?
you probably already told your story.
We're just trying to figure out. Really?
This officer is probably going to be the one handling the whole case.
This officer's probably going to be the one handling the whole case. Notice how that's what we call sloughing off paper. I'm going to go in here and fuck up your case, and then as soon as you show up, I'm going to say, oh, it's his case. Tell him everything you said. Repeat to him. Show him the marks that you showed me. Tell him about how you stole a car when you were a kid. They'll just totally start doing shit. Drives me nuts working with cops like this.
You want to listen to what he has to say, and then you tell him what happened. Right?
Tell him what happened. Yeah, he's super helpful. Tell him what happened. This guy's like, what? I already talked to him. I just told you. Why do I need to tell him again? What's going on? This is how you confuse people.
So, if you don't mind, start at the beginning for me.
Start at the beginning.
Again, if I'm going to talk to him here, I want a sound barrier. Move him either on this side of the car or on this side of this car. Get him away from this freaking road noise. So you don't have to keep going, huh? What? What did you say?
I don't want to go too far back, but we've been in Beyond Land for the past week or so, traveling around. And the flies here are pretty intense, so the flies have definitely been getting to her. And then my feet are dirty.
The flies are really intense and getting to her. Really? Wow. My feet were dirty.
And everything. So I think that our little squabble started because we were hanging out at the coffee shop, and when we got back to...
So we were hanging out at the coffee shop when we got in a squabble. I thought they were going to get water. This is the first time I heard about the coffee shop.
Some dirt and stuff again, and I moved our food around, so it was a little disorganized, so...
A little disorder, and that makes her upset because she likes to have things orderly and put in places. So, and he probably knows this. Remember, she lived with him for a year, and they're engaged to be married. This isn't like they've just been dating for a couple months, and this is new relationship shit. They're engaged to be married, and she lived with him for over a year.
She gets a little.
Will you take those two?
She gets a little bit. Here's where it's her fault. And he's probably going to come back. Now, I haven't watched anything past this point. This is where I stopped. But I'm predicting he's going to come back in a minute and say, I tried to calm it down, or I tried to, disengage because I'm the good guy and she's the bad guy.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Do you need any water?
It's okay.
It's hot out here.
We were going to get water because we ran out, but it's okay. No, it's alright. I don't know.
This guy's like, I'll go get him a water. And he's like, no, I don't want it. Maybe I did watch this because he says he doesn't like plastic.
Plastic bottles. It's okay. Thank you, though. But we just had a little disagreement there.
So now we're having a little disagreement. We still don't know what the disagreement was about. Was it about the coffee shop? Was it about the mud on the car? Was it about I rearranged things? What was the argument? We still don't know that. Maybe we'll get to it.
The disagreement was just that she was getting a little worked up, and I was saying
she was getting a little worked up. Everything's her fault.
oh, it's okay. Thank you so much.
It's not like it's cool. That's good.
So it was just more of a disagreement, and I just wanted to say
What was the disagreement about?
It was.
Hey, good question. He asked it. Good for you.
I wouldn't even call it disagreement. It was just that I'm dirty, and I can't change being dirty. Like I got dirty feet, I got sand on my flip-flops and stuff like that.
And stuff like that, I automatically know they're hiding something when they start using terms like, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And, it was just normal. And when they start using these phrases that they want to close out and not give details. Oh, shit, I'm at 31 minutes already. Damn. All right, on to part 3. We'll end this here.